Xing it out of the big blind, checking the flop. Smells like ace king. Maybe ace king. The ace hearts. Maybe. It's tough to say. 4x it out of the big blind. Check the flop. Call 300 on the flop. Then shove the turn. If you have a flush, that's a really bad. I'm gonna have to raise this ace jack. 6-handed. Um, Another thing with my raise size, you notice people are making it 400, 350. I think one dude was coming in for 500. This guy, before he got kicked out, was making it just outrageous amounts. I like to keep my raise sizes about 2.2, 2.3 times the big blind. It it allows you a good return on investment. I just check back the flop because obviously like they call it king jacks, they call it a lot of hands. If there's even maybe queen 10 now, I think I get to fold on the flop. And even now, I just don't see any value in bluffing two other players out of the pot, and I very well could have the best hand. And it really does look like I have the best hand at this point. Wow. Diamond Beauty is just going to fire out 675 on the jack. And I think it's even worth it. I mean, it could be queen 10. And it just feels like queen 10 right here. Maybe a king that he's trying to miss value for. There are some hands that I beat. I can beat queen jack. Obviously any jack, can beat any 9. It's worth it to call to obviously see what he has, because that's information for later streets. And yeah, he had 9s, 14s, so he just had to crush. So nothing I can do except say that's hand. So it's interesting to note that he likes to slow play. He checks, he even checked the turn, which is pretty disciplined. He hit a full house. I mean, most players would bet probe somebody who has a king into just getting their chips in right there. I checked it. I hit the jack on the river, unfortunately, because I wasn't putting a single chip in the pot unless I hit a jack or an ace. I don't even know if I bet on the river. I know that if I bet on the river and he shoved, it just completely polarizes his range to a king or queen 10. I could never put him on pocket 9s, obviously because the way he played. He just called before flop and he checked the flop. So putting on pocket 9s is pretty impossible considering the way he played the hand. A7 could argue for a raise, but we're in a small blind. We're first to act after the flop. This hand only really has value if you hit, and which we didn't. You're only going to hit a pair about 33% of the time. And so you don't really want to be getting too aggressive with drawing hands out of position. And 4-7 offsuit on the button, which is just garbage. Gonna fold. And 27 players left. First 50 bucks. Scoop at 50 spot. It's full pal. I believe the blinds are about to go up again to 75, 150, so I'll have 20 effective big blinds, so it'll change the play up a little bit, not by much. Um, Obviously, I'm going to be looking to get it in with hands like this compared to if the blinds were still relatively low compared to my stats. For example, if I had obviously if the blinds were 15-30 and I had this in stack of 3K, I wouldn't be shoving, I would just probably be potting it. But also I'm taking into fact this guy's stack size right here. He has 1100, the blinds are 75, 150, he has about 8 big blinds. So any amount I come in for, it commits him. It commits him to the pot. So he's not probably folding for any bet on the flop. So it just makes sense to get it in right here, because it also protects my hand against other players by laying them at an expensive price. It forces them to pick up a hand to play with me, compared to like if I raise it up and someone decides to get in there with 10-9 and hits their hand while I miss. Well, that's misvalue when I can isolate DBL rainbows and have essentially a 50-50 shot at winning the pot. Obviously more than that, because the ace queen is probably good in that spot, so it gives me the edge. So it's different things to think about when entering a pot. Okay, in this hand, I'm gonna make a loosey-goosey raise. This is really bad from under the gun. If I get re-raised, I can just fold it and give it up. But if I get flatted, it's not the end of the world. I'm pretty comfortable with my post-flop skills. Stacks are really short. I think like, yeah, the biggest stack on our table is about 31 big blinds. So people are going to be at this point in fold or shove mode a lot. Okay, Tilly Tornado is flattening on the button, and that can mean a lot of things. Obviously, I can't continue now that the Rainbows has got his chips in. At best, I probably have 4 outs to improve, which 4 times 4, I'm like 16%. I mean, just never calling in this spot. I shouldn't even have to do math, but just for the purpose of the training video, it helps to maybe lay those things out there. In that time, I'm going to hit the nut flush. Very nice. Queen 8 of diamonds. Very nice hand to see a flop with. Not a good hand to raise with, especially due to the fact that we're out of position. However, if we're in diamond blue spot here on the button and it folded to me, yes, I probably would raise his hand up. But being that it has been limped, it's a 5-way pot. If I were to raise it up, I could argue for the raise to steal his dead money. But these $3 players, they rarely fold. So all I would probably be doing is making the pot bigger out of position with a drawing hand. Because if I get called, I'm getting called by a hand that usually hasn't crushed. And so in that case, I do have to hit my hand to usually continue with it. So it's just really bad. It's just a really bad spot. So it's best to just play your hand passively out of position. You play them aggressively in position. And the 8 on turn. This could very well be the best hand. But I'm not really too sure, but just take a little stab at it. If I lose this, I'm down to 2,600. It's not the end of the world. I can still come back. Obviously, I picked it up, and that's nice too. Okay, so Queen 6 offsuit under the gun +1 3x raise. Obviously, never ever playing this. It's just the standard fold. King 5 offsuit. Standard fold. I probably could argue for the raise if it folds to me. But when DBO rainbows makes a pot like that, what can I do? I can't overshove because he's probably not folding. He's committed a third of his chips. So it's an easy decision to give the hand up. Queen 6, terrible hand. In the cutoff, could argue for a raise, but you can always argue for a raise. But when the another gun +1 player 3x's it, it's a standard fold. You just have to give it up. King 6, terrible hand. Just gonna give it up, fold it.